What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy, your comics guy, and it's late. I know, guys. I promised y'all a second episode last week to make up for a week I had missed in October, but don't worry, I made a promise that this next episode would still have a scary story, and you're getting one today. Even though we're in November, we're still going to have a spooky Bry-Fy tale, or a Texas ghost story is really what it is, but told by me in like the least scary way possible, because I hate scary things. Anyway, did have a lot going on this past week and weekend, so that was kind of the reason for me not being able to post a second episode last week. But we're going to talk about some of the stuff, because this past weekend I went to my first ever card collectible show. So like trading cards, sports cards, mainly Pokemon cards was what I was going for. And I got to meet two of my friends from work there, which was a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that more later, and just how that all went. But up first, got some nifty nerd news for you guys. All right, guys, up first in the nifty nerd news, we're going to talk about Walmart. Why? Because I've been spending a ton of time there at that store, because with me collecting the Pokemon cards from the Pokemon 151 set and not having any local card shops or just any kind of collectible shops in my town, Walmart's been the place to go. Walmart for us small town people is our nerd store, because they surprisingly Walmart carries a bunch of shit like that, like pop vinyls, other pop culture toys and things like that. So for us, it's kind of where we can get our collectibles, man. And they've even started selling graphic novels at Walmart's. So it's been, I would have to say, pretty damn impressive with what they've been able to have there and what they've been able to showcase nerd-wise. And as far as cards go, they carry the new sets from Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff. So, I mean, it's in an otherwise bleak small town, it has been like my one safe haven, which has been pretty interesting. But the reason why I wanted to bring them up is because recently, like this year, they have been investing like billions of dollars to upgrade or modernize some of their U.S. stores, calling them like stores of the future and type of things like that. 117 stores, mine being one of them, have relaunched this past weekend with the new enhancements. It's been pretty crazy. Walking through Walmart and seeing them start these upgrades and seeing the enhancements has been really really neat to see, because growing up, the Walmart in my small town was abysmal. It was tiny. It was barely took up, who knows, like a house. Like that's sorry, I'm yawning. Like it was like maybe a large house size. Now it is a super center with groceries, electronics, furniture, automotive, like all this stuff, that you see. But so my Walmart, my hometown Walmart, was one of the 117 stores picked to relaunch with all the new mods or whatever, enhancements is what you want to call it. And it's been pretty neat, man. They're adding like clothing displays. They've added like neat little TVs that showcase some of the things that they're selling, like within the clothing section. Over in like the home goods stuff, they have like display for a bed, and like, hey, like you could design your bedroom and it look like this with like Walmart stuff. So that's been pretty interesting. They've changed the aisle layouts. They've added more stuff, taken and moved things around. The makeup aisle got a whole redone, so it looks nice as well. And so I would have to say it's been pretty impressive. as far as that I can tell. It hasn't made me buy more stuff from Walmart. No. Excuse me. Not at all. But it's been a pleasure to see them improve the store, which I think ultimately is good for everyone. Good for them, good for us, good for the community. And it looks like they're hiring more people with it. I mean, they brought in a bunch of people to help redo everything and help stock everything and move everything. So it created a bunch of jobs for that purpose. But hopefully these people get to stay on and they don't let go or lay off a bunch of people after the fact. The other thing that I wanted to talk about for Nifty Nerd News is Disney Plus just dropped the trailer for the new Echo series that's going to be going on with Marvel. And it's kind of funny because like this dropped mere days after the news of them talking about, well, we're going to cut back on like the Marvel shows and stuff that we're going to do. But here's a Marvel show for you. So it was kind of funny. But Echo came from, was it Hawkeye? Yeah, I think it was Hawkeye is where she made her appearance. And it's another deaf or hard of hearing character. And I kind of like what they're doing with the character of Echo. Based on the trailer, she was pretty much raised by Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. And so she owes a lot to him, as it seems. But she also owes a lot to her family and her heritage. And it seems like there's going to be the conflict based on the trailer is going to be like who do you support, not who do you support, I guess, but who where do your allegiance lie with your heritage and your like your blood heritage and family, or with the person who actually raised you. Although, Wilson Fisk versus maybe a normal family, like I mean, I guess, yeah, you side with Wilson Fisk because you don't want to die, even though, he's not a good man. he's pretty much a bad guy. I don't know, he very much is a bad guy, but so it'd be interesting to see what happens. It looks like Echo definitely has some troubles and is going to have to make a decision on what she's going to do. And I don't know who else is going to be in the trailer. It'd be interesting to see, or who else is going to be in the show. It'd be interesting to see. Like I said, she spun out of Hawkeye, so will we get a Jeremy Renner cameo? Will who played Kate Bishop? I can't remember her name. The other Kate Bishop, female Hawkeye, and God, I can't remember Hawkeye's name. Clint Barton. Oh my God. So, like, will they make cameos? Will any other characters make cameos? I don't know. It'll be interesting. But one of the big takeaways from the trailer was the blood that I saw. So this looks like it's very much going to be a rated R show. Should be really exciting to see. And it looks violent, man. So it looks like they're going to be adopting some, at least, of the Netflix Marvel type violence, which will be interesting and really cool to see. And so I'm pretty damn excited, man. I haven't been excited for a Marvel thing since, man, I can't even remember. Maybe Miss Marvel was the last Marvel thing I was excited for. But I don't know, man. I feel good. I feel good about this. I feel good things. And so I'm excited for the new Echo trailer. What was the last thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, talking about R-rated movies. So it has been confirmed with Marvel Studios that the new Blade movie, which had all kinds of things going on with it. It's had tons of rewrites. I think at one point, Mahershala Ali, who was going to be playing Blade, talked about leaving because he wasn't happy with how things were proceeding with the script and stuff. Then you had the writer's strike. There's been all kinds of things where apparently there was one draft of the script where Blade wasn't even the main character. It was going to be like 3 or 4 other people were going to be the main characters of the series. So there's been a lot going out about Blade, and a lot of it hasn't been good. But this recent news, pretty good, says Blade is guaranteed going to be R-rated when it comes out. And considering Blade, the character, and how he fights, with a sword, and he's fighting vampires, and blood is kind of a big thing, with vampires and sword cutting. You want blood. So it's a good sign. It's a good move. I like it. I'm excited for it. Blade is probably been on my radar for a while now. And I don't even know why I got excited for Blade so much. Not that like, oh, why would someone like me? It's just, I remember when I got excited for Blade. So I remember watching the original movies and liking them, not really ever truly understanding that they were a Marvel property at all. And it wasn't until I started reading comic books and I got into the Mighty Avengers. Man, was this 2013, 2014? I think, because I got into comic books in 2012. I was reading the Deadpool run by Jerry Duggan and Brian Posehn, and then Superior Spider-Man. Dan Slott was doing that, and I was wanting to read a team book, and Superior Spider-Man was showing up in the Mighty Avengers, which I thought was really interesting. Plus, I also liked Luke Cage as a character, and it seemed like he was going to be headlining or being the captain or the leader of the Mighty Avengers. So I was really excited about that. It was kind of like not all street heroes, but it seemed like it had more street level heroes in the team. And so I was super excited for that. And in there, they reintroduced Blade. He started as like a secret character that we couldn't know who he was, and he wore a full mask. And I think, was he, man, he started out as like the splendiferous spider something. I don't know, something in like freaking Superior Spider-Man gets super pissed. Anyway, I fell in love with the character then, and I really liked Blade then. And that kind of got me on this deep dive. And so then I got super excited when they announced a new series, or I think a new movie. Or at the time, maybe it was going to be a series, then a movie. Now I don't know what it's going to be now. I have no idea. Hey, we're getting live action Blade, so I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be a Disney Plus show, a series. But we'll see. I don't even really know. I just know it's going to be rated R, so there will be blood. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, that's it for the Nifty Nerd News stuff I wanted to cover for this week. Up next, Up next, let's talk about the convention, man. And then to cap things off, we'll do a spooky story at the end of the podcast. But, let's talk about the Collecticon that I went to in Houston, Texas. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around for the final part of the podcast. So, this past weekend, I went to Collecticon in Houston, Texas. Collecticon is a trading card and other collectible trade show that goes around the country. I think they were in Dallas the weekend prior, or maybe Denver. I can't remember. They were somewhere else. And they popped up on my Facebook feed shortly after I started collecting Pokemon cards with the Pokemon 151 stuff. And I kind of like, you get a bunch of ads, whatever. But as I got more interested in cards, and as I got closer to finishing the master set of collecting the Pokemon 151 cards, which I'm still not done yet. I'm almost done. But as I was getting closer and realizing, man, it's getting really expensive to buy these booster packs and not get the cards I need. I'm getting a bunch of the same cards and stuff. I started really seriously considering, hey, well, maybe it's time to go to a convention or a card show. I mean, I guess I could order online, but I think a card show would be good because it'd be easier to sell or trade my cards to kind of cheapen the blow that buying some of these cards were, because the secret illustration rare Charizard card was $120 going market value. I think it's still $120 now as I record this podcast. And so that's a lot of money for a card, a playing card. Something that's just could easily be destroyed. So $120 is a lot. It's a big pill to swallow. And so I looked into it and I saw that they had other events. And as I saw that the other events looked very legit, people had tons of positive reviews, I decided why the hell not. Told some guys from work like I was interested in it. One of them was also big into the Pokemon collecting as me, and the other guy, he more collects sports cards, and there were sports card tables there, so he was interested and definitely wanted to go, and I guess wanted to go, and we ended up having a good time, man. We only went one day, Saturday, but Casey and I got a hotel room there downtown because we've been to the convention scene enough to know, like, if we try to just do it all at once with RJ, our son, it's not going to happen. RJ gets overstimulated very easily and does not enjoy the things that we really enjoy all that much. Not to say like we're forcing him to do something he doesn't like. It's just he doesn't put value on things like comic books and that. Like, he'll see stuff that he likes, like stuffed animal things. We bought him a Doduo, a little stuffed Doduo Pokemon that he really liked. And so, like, he'll find things that he likes, but he gets bored very quick. He rather ride the escalator or the elevators. He gets more fun out and enjoyment out of that. So we've kind of learned we should get a hotel room anytime we're going to do any type of convention, because it's a place that we can leave the convention for a bit, decompress, get our bearings back. RJ can, have a chance to kind of, de-stress, get ready for it, and go back. And that's what we did. We ended up, I think I stayed for maybe 2 to 3 hours, because I showed up at 11:30, maybe 12, somewhere in there, between 11:30 and 12. Met up with my two friends. We walked around, and my wife and RJ left for probably after an hour for RJ to just, because he was already not ready for it. After being in the car for like an hour and a half drive, and then being in a very congested place, because, oh man, this convention was stuffed. They were only in one hall of the George R. Brown Convention Center, which for Casey and I, we're so used to going to Comic Palooza every year at the George R. Brown Convention Center, and Comic Palooza takes up the entirety of the George R. Brown. So the entire convention center, all the halls, it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I think there's an H, I don't know, but it takes up the entire floor. Tables are well spaced out, and so even though, who knows, countless people enter the convention and leave and all that stuff, you don't feel the congestion of it all. There's always space, there's always movement and flow. This convention did not have that, and I don't know if it's because they didn't expect the number of people to show up that did show up, or if they just didn't care. Now, the entrance to get in was quite spacious. The line was moving great to get into the convention, which I was a big fan of that. I think we only waited in line maybe 15 minutes at that. We were moving very quickly, got in very easily. I appreciated that very much. But once inside, tables were pretty tight space. And I mean, people are stopping to look at cards. They're going through collections. So trying to get to tables and vendors to try to make purchases was quite difficult. And like I said, this is my first card show, so maybe this is what it's always like. I don't know. It was a very new process for me. It was very different. I'm so used to like going up to like artist alleys, people having everything pretty simply there and very easy to skim through and look and then be on my way. I either like what I see and buy it, or I don't and I move on, and like that. Here it's so much more congested. There's so many more things to look through because, one, I'm looking for specific cards, so I'm trying to hunt through either binders or their displays to try to find the card that I'm looking for so that I can purchase it. And there's so much going on. Plus, I had my son's wagon at the time, so that was very difficult to maneuver. And also trying to keep up with my friends and see things that they wanted to see. So it was a very overwhelming experience at first. I think after I had initially left after 2 to 2.5 hours. One, I was also very hungry. I didn't eat before the convention. I told my wife, hey, we should grab something, but we just wanted to get there. And so, error on our part. So after about 2 hours, I told the guys that, hey, I'm going to leave for a bit. And I don't know, like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to come back. I had actually assumed I was not going to be able to come back when I left after 2.5 hours. Thankfully, Casey did want to go back, so we did go back like an hour and a half before it closed. And that worked out very well for me because my first go around, I didn't pick up all the cards that I needed. Like I said, it's a lot. After RJ and Casey left, things got a hell of a lot easier because I was able to maneuver a lot quicker, and now I was able to, hey, let me hit these tables and stuff. But my Pokemon friend there, he was able to show me, like, hey, these are the Pokemon stuff, and he was showing me cards that he was collecting, and we both made purchases at different tables. I was just so excited, man. Like, I had one goal, and that goal was to complete my Pokemon 151 cards, and I wasn't necessarily trying to get all the reverse holo cards yet. I wasn't trying to master set yet. I wanted to get all the secret and special rare illustration cards because those are the big hitters. Those are the ones that are going to cost the most money. And I needed to find someone that would trade with me. And my big thing was trying to find the Charizard line. So that was the first one I went looking for. Found a pretty cool table, and they had the Charizard line right there, and he was willing to make a deal. So I told him, here's all the cards that I'm willing to trade. Take what you want, and tell me what I'll pay the difference of, like, market value of whatever. And I think everyone basically says, hey, we'll do 70% of market value, and I'm fine with that. Whatever. Those cards were just extra to me. I wasn't really trying to do anything. I'm just trying to get as big a discount as I can on the Charizard line, because Charizard's like 120. Charmander, I think, was like 30 to 35, and Charmeleon was like another 20. So between them, I'm looking at close to $200. With all the cards that I traded the guy, I paid maybe $40 for everything. So that was a huge win for me, and a huge knockoff of what I thought I was going to have to spend. And I was so happy with saving that much money. I ended up buying, so they have Elite Trainer boxes for the 151 set, but I found a Pokemon Center exclusive, or one that when you buy it from the Pokemon Center online store, which you can't get anymore. They've been completely sold out for over a month now. So I bought that for $100. Super excited because, one, it comes with more booster packs inside than a normal Elite Trainer box. It comes with, I think, 11 versus the 9, which is the normal. And it comes with a special Snorlax promo card that comes with the Pokemon Center stamp. That card alone is worth $40 market value right now. So it's like, if I was able to sell that card, $40 off a $100 Elite Trainer box, girl math is basically what I'm doing here. So I thought it was a big win. Went through other tables, slowly started collecting what I needed. I got maybe three-fourths of what I needed by myself and with my friends. My sports card friend, he took me to a table where the guy who made homemade, or like basically he made these sports cards, and they were like pretty cool designs. Really liked them, but man, the prices for this shit was insane. I couldn't believe people were paying this stuff. And then my bud was showing me the card that he wanted to buy. It was a Joe Burrow, who's a quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, rookie card. The dude was selling it for $3,500, and I'm watching my friend like haggle with him, trying to get the price down, which to me is a whole new concept for like conventions, because I don't haggle. Like, I've never haggled. It's like, hey, artist offers, like, hey, this is my art, this is my work, this is how much I want to sell it for. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with that, or I don't, or I wait till Sunday when, okay, look, it's Sunday, I just need to get rid of shit because I haven't sold anything all week, so I'll do it for $5. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm one of those guys who only buys things on Sundays. I'm a piece of shit. But for me, I was just so excited and wanting these cards so bad that I was just taking them. And like he even told me, like he helped me out. He saved my ass big on the Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise line, because I went to another booth there, and the guy was like, yeah, if I do like card or whatever, I charge like tax and stuff. And my friend was like, nah, man, how about, I just do cash with you? And he's like, well, you do it for like, I think the guy wanted like 190 or something like that, or almost like 200 for everything. He's like, we do 180 cash. And the guy was like, yeah, I do 180 cash. So like he saved me $20 just doing that and paying in cash. And then I learned cash. Bring cash here, because cash, I won't have to pay tax on it. So I probably could have saved in tax alone $10 to $20 on all the cards and things that I bought if I would have just had cash instead. So that's a lesson learned for me and everything. It's pretty cool, man. And one thing I'd totally forgotten about, when I first walked in, when me, Casey, and RJ first walked into the convention, the guy who sings the theme for the Pokemon theme song, the original, the I wanna be the very best, he was singing the Pokemon theme song as we were walking into the convention. Like he was on stage performing the show. I think a DJ, Steve Aoki, was there, which I guess people are really excited about. I had no idea who he was, but coming in to that guy singing the theme song to Pokemon, there's a giant Pikachu to my right, like a giant inflatable Pikachu to my right, was a surreal and exciting experience. It got me so hyped for this card convention just walking in. It was almost like they planned it, because they knew I was about to drop some money. I mean, I say that, but compared to like other people, I probably dropped pennies. But yeah, so I eventually left because Casey and RJ were hungry, so we went to go get some late lunch, early dinner, whatever you want to call it. Me and Casey talked for a bit. There were some things that she did want to look at again, so we decided to go back down to the convention, and I hadn't completed my list yet. So yeah, I didn't get everything that I wanted at the convention, or like at the first stop of the convention. So the second time around was really me, and Casey was great. She was like, hey, I'm going to go off on my own to look at stuff. I'll let you do your thing. And so me and RJ set out to complete my special illustration cards that I needed, because I had thought I collected most of what I needed, but it turned out I missed a couple of cards because I have shitty handwriting, or I just did a shitty job of paying attention to my list. So me and RJ went. I think it was like 5 cards that I needed. Knocked them out real quick, and the day was done, dude. I was so excited. I was happy. I took pictures. You can see them on my Instagram or any of my social medias. I think I posted them everywhere. I was so excited. And Casey ended up finding some things that she really likes. She's a big fan of One Piece, so she got a shirt with Joy Boy Luffy on it. She got some booster packs from the One Piece card game. So she was super stoked on it. I was super stoked for her. And yeah, man, that was the convention. Our first card convention, which was a shit ton of fun. We really enjoyed it. And I'm definitely, if I start collecting cards again, I'm definitely going to end up going to another show like that. I don't know if I will if I'm not collecting cards, but after thinking about it, I mean, when wouldn't I, Like, I'm already looking at other Pokemon sets and how well they perform, or how good are the pulls, how pricey are the cards, and just how cool is the artwork. So I kind of want to do I want to do a set with cool artwork and stuff that I want to collect. I don't want to just pick up random shit. But anyway, that's it about the convention story. Let's wrap things up with a spooky story real quick, guys. Hey guys, sorry this is coming in late, but unfortunately I did not do a spooky story for you guys this week. It was either get the episode out now, still late, or just postpone another week, and I kind of wanted to put something out this week. So yeah, sorry about that. Maybe next year. All right guys, thanks for listening this week, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.